Over 3 billion people play video games worldwide. That is almost half the world's population. And if you're anything like me where you love gaming and also self-improvement, you have probably heard of this advice. All these successful people are saying that if you truly want to achieve your dreams, you are not allowed to play games. So, does that mean that I have to give up on my games completely? No, I believe that gamers, specifically addicted gamers like us, the ones that can play 10 hours straight, shows that we definitely possess the unwavering focus ability. But the only difference is that we are putting our effort into the wrong game. So I created a game where the more you play it, the more it actually rewards you in real life. My name is Aaron. This is a series called Gamify Life where we try to make life just a little better by creating the ultimate best game using Notion. In this video, we are going to go through the updates of the game that I have created since the first episode, a quick recap on how the game works. The player have to do quests, which is a fun way to say tasks to gain XP and level up to get the items rewards. Very simple concept, but it makes life a lot more fun. It was previously at version 1.0 and now it is at version 2.0e. I'm so excited to show you this because one of the biggest features has been added, which is the reason why UltiGame became version 2.0. The video is split into 3 categories, showcasing the update, the current issues and future implementations, then finally the code of the game. Alright, starting off with the new features, which is a tier system for both the items and levels. You'll notice that on version 1.0, the color was just completely random. There is basically no colors on the items at all. So now that it has been updated to version 2.0, you can see that there is actually a proper color scheme for both the levels and the rewards. And under the inventory, which is the items, you'll see that there is actually a tier system for the items as well. So we have common items being white color like the coins and fun fragment. It's a new item which I'll explain later. Green are uncommon items like fun shard and torn Magipass. And then we have blue, which are rare items which consist of my favorite Magipass. Purple is epic items, which is fun crystal, and gold is legendary items, which is the upgrade points. If you are colorblind, just trust me bro, I'm not lying about the colors. So you notice that the levels also has the same tiering system: white, green, blue, purple, gold, and then finally on level 100 there is the ultimate red color. The point of the tier system for the levels is to have sort of like a milestone to hit and get more reward. I can confirm that this definitely works because whenever I'm close to reaching the milestone like level 5 and 10 and such, I would get really motivated to work harder and get the extra rewards like the blue or purple item. And some of you might have already guessed what games have inspired me on this tiering system. If you don't know, it is Fortnite. I never actually played the game, but I know that they use some kind of colors to indicate the rarity and strength of the weapons. I would assume it feels satisfying when you get a gold background colored weapon, and that's why it's added to UltiGame. And now, since it's easier to know the item's rarity through the colors, hopefully it will make me use the items more wisely. You'll also notice that there are now 2 new items compared to version 1.0. First item is Fun Fragments, which is a common item. Previously, we only had Fun Shard, which gives about 1 hour of fun effect. It doesn't really make sense because sometimes I just want to relax for 5 to 15 minutes instead of a whole entire hour. So that's why Fun Fragments is added to give 5 minutes of fun effect every time it is used. It's based on a rule I saw a long time ago and I don't know it's actually true or not, but it states that to know how much rest is the most optimal to get back your energy, you just have to divide the time you worked by 5. So that's why you'll notice that the obtain method for Fun Fragments is every 30 minutes spent playing the game. Basically just means every 30 minutes that I do my task or quest, that's when I'll get this Fun Fragment. And if I want to, just for the sake of making it more cleaner, I can also combine 12 of the fun fragments into one fun shard. Because 60 minutes divided by 5 is 12. Quick maths. The second new item is the torn Magipass, which basically allows me to eat half of my favorite instant noodle. You're probably wondering why is this here? The fun fragments make sense, but this, it doesn't really make sense. However, this is required because I made a huge mistake on the version 1.0 regarding the leveling rewards. I'll show you what do I mean by that later in the video. Alright, and for the next big feature added, it is the time tracker feature. This is to show how long have I played in 3 different time frames: today, weekly, and monthly. There are 2 reasons why this time tracker is useful. First, it can calculate the fun fragments automatically based on the time played today. Second, when I used to play a single FPS game like an absolute maniac, some of you may know me through that game, I would always look at the time that I have played for the past 2 weeks in Steam and always try to make it higher and higher. I'm not sure why, but I see numbers up, my mood also up. And that's why I implemented it in here in hopes that it might work too. But honestly, I mostly just have the inventory page pinned on top like so and just see the metrics here instead. I would occasionally come in to just check my monthly playtime, but that's extremely rare. And that's why you'll see that it's extremely messy here because I just frankly just don't care. Okay, so here comes the biggest update ever. If you don't know, previously in version 1.0, I had to calculate the XP for each level like this. I come to this page and then I have to click on level up every single time I have completed a certain task. Well, obviously you can already see the first issue. It is extremely annoying constantly having to remind myself to press this button, and it was one of the main reasons why I did not want to play this game. And the second more technical issue is whenever it passed 30,000, which is what is required to level up, there will be certain excess XP, like maybe it will go up to 31,000, and at that point I do not know how to bring it to the next level. So basically the XP won't carry over unless I somehow manually add myself. Don't worry if you don't understand any of this, because I myself do not understand any of this either. If you are interested, I'll show you the code later, but the only thing that you need to know is that because of this change, the time tracker came to life. A whole bunch of quality of life updates and more possibilities have been unlocked because of this one amazing update. A little bit of story on this specific feature. I actually decided to fix this once and for all, not because I was annoyed in pressing the button every time to calculate the XP, but it's mainly because I couldn't solve the excess XP issue. I wanted it to be automatically calculated based on the previous level, but it keeps showing me some recursion error or something like that, and after about 6 hours of trying to fix it, I was about to give up and just make it so I have to manually enter it into each level every time I level up. So yeah, the game was about to become like I have to press the level up button every time I completed a task, and I also have to type the excess XP manually. Like what? So yeah, that would be absolutely insane. But I decided to try the last hope that I have, which is asking people on Reddit. Tun tun tun. Anyways, to my surprise, people actually tried their best to help me and even contacted me personally offering their help. So I want to take this opportunity to really thank this one person, which I do not know if I can disclose their name or not, but this person is the one that taught me how to fix this biggest issue for the leveling part and even helped me some more with other features as well through Discord. Thank you so much. Let's just go through some of the quality of life updates thanks to that amazing feature. First is the active formula. So previously, if I wanted to put this inside my dashboard to see what level am I at, I have to manually type in like this level 2 and level 3, and that's absolutely insane. So now all I have to do is just click on this active here. So whenever I have leveled up, it will automatically change to the next level. So this helps a lot because I no longer have to manually change the level in the dashboard every time I have leveled up. And of course, as I previously mentioned, I no longer have to type in the excess XP every time I level up. And the best part, of course, I no longer have to manually click on the level up button to calculate the XP anymore. I seriously don't understand how I could tolerate playing the game last time when I had to press a million different buttons just for it to work. Pretty much everything is automatic now and doesn't require manual button pressing anymore. Except for the inventory items, I still have to do that manually, which isn't a problem at all yet. And speaking of inventory, as you can see, I included the time tracker in here so that I can immediately add the fun fragments into the inventory. So as an example, you can see that if let's say I somehow played 24 hours today, then I will be able to get 48 fun fragments like so. I also added a yesterday button to calculate the fun fragments yesterday automatically. It is just there just in case if I forget to count the fun fragments past 12 AM. I also added the table on the right here, which shows the item that I've gained when leveled up so that I can immediately calculate the items. Once I have claimed the rewards, I click on the claim checkbox and it will disappear. I can definitely automate this where I click on the claim button and somehow it will just add everything into the inventory, but it's not so annoying currently, so it's fine for now. So this two table is nice because I no longer have to go to separate pages like the time tracker or the game dashboard to calculate the items. Much simpler. Alright, so moving on to the minor yet important changes. If you remember just now where I said why I added the Torn Maggie Pass, it's because I realized that I calculate the hours required to level up wrongly. You can see from the old leveling rewards plan, it doesn't make sense that one level requires 30 hours, but 5 levels requires only 50 hours when it should have been 150 hours. I think I calculated so wrong that it actually requires 3 times more hours to level up, which I don't know how did I mess up that bad. It's like my Asian powers disappears randomly. So anyways, I just recalculated everything and this is how it looks like now. So this is why I added the Torn Maggie Pass items that I showed just now. It's just simply to make sure that I can eat my favorite food every week. So which means that it is possible for me to get 2 levels every week and getting a full Maggie Pass. Yes, I know it still doesn't really make sense to add a whole new item just for this, but it's fine, it's my game after all. Another thing that I decided is how the naming scheme will be for the version/patch notes. For big changes, it increases by 1, for medium changes, it increases by 0.1, and for small changes, it goes up by an alphabet at the back of the current version. So that's why the version is currently on version 2.0e. Okay, and as for the user interface updates, I have added a wallpaper and it looks really good because I'm using a GIF file, which means it moves. Do not go into the comments and say it's pronounced GIF. Anyways, I don't know if I'm actually allowed to use this wallpaper in my game because it's basically just my own personal game, so hopefully I don't get sued. Also, the game finally has a name called UltiGame, because if you have ever played games that has abilities like Valorant, Dota, LOL, all these games have an ability that is overpowered called Ultimate Ability. So that's why I decided to name it UltiGame. It's just the same as my Ultimate Habit Tracker, it's also called UltiHabit. You can check it out if you want to. The second user interface update is the quest completed button has changed to the word "and" instead. The "and" button is also added into the completed quest list view for player to click on just in case it was pressed too early. Quest type is also changed to remove the word quest at the end to save space and reduce redundancy. Levels also now shows in terms of percentage instead of actual XP, and it also shows the XP left. I also removed the XP required to level up to clean it up a bit. If you remember previously, dailies have to be added like store, but now it's no longer tied to the levels itself, but instead it will just be added into the XP pool after clicking this button. For inventory, the function column has been removed and the orange color is used to show the function instead. You can see the difference here. This is the version 1.0 and version 2.0. Looks a lot better. Again, don't judge me with the sentence flare at the back. Alright, moving on to the developers update, which is basically just for me. I have organized it so the players and developers stuff is now separated. Inside the backend, there are multiple pages where it has all the databases required to run the game and explanation on the features created. So for example, the quest completed database, the levels, the colors and items explanations all are inside here. I also added the developer guidelines page as well to make sure things like the icons, vocabulary and stuff is consistent throughout the game. And of course, the references pictures are also added inside here. But full transparency, there are a lot of things that I should be documenting on which I missed, but it's fine. Okay, so that's a lot of update that we have covered. Now we are moving on to the second section of the video, which is the new potential ideas and bugs. So for the new potential ideas and bugs, I put it inside the future implementations page, which is much better than last time where it is just at the bottom of some kind of random page. So as all the major issues has finally been fixed thanks to the new overhaul on the backend code, the direction of the game now would be less about fixing bugs and more on adding new major features, which is basically the more exciting stuff. So the first and most important thing is creating the game icon because, well, it would definitely make the game feel more like a game. So if you have an idea and would like to do some free work, do contact me through email, Instagram, Twitter, or even the comments is fine. The second future implementation is the event reminder. I'm thinking to put this inside the inventory page, sort of like a calendar, I guess. This is just so that I don't use the items the moment I get it and instead being able to plan ahead on the items I need for future events. So events just being like hanging out with friends, movies, fun things like that. Okay, I just said there are no more major bugs, but I did not say that there are no bugs. The third one being a bug rather than a feature. So whenever I open up the inventory page for the first time or I just refresh it, the item name column would show the equations instead of the colored text. Because to get the colored text, I use this weird equation that I found online. It's a weird workaround because you can't color the title column unlike other normal columns, unfortunately. So I honestly have no idea how to fix it, but this is a very minor bug that, to be honest, I don't really care that much. It just would be nice because then there will be one less thing to click on. And then the for future implementation, this is going to be a little technical and difficult, so we're just gonna move on and I'm gonna let you know in the next video. Okay, so now we move on to the third section, which is how does all this actually work, the code and the game mechanics. Basically all the nerdy stuff that might be a little boring, but you need to watch it because I don't know actually, but please stay. Thank you. Anyways, initially, Fun Fragments had another obtain method, which is the amount of quests completed. And previously, Fun Shard combination of the Fun Fragments was only 8 and it was obviously quickly changed to 12 because I have way too much fun. So without these two changes, I have way too much break time. So before the 2.0 update, the end button previously does this. I honestly don't even remember what was going on here. There's so many random things that it looks like I'm trying to make the button to tell me the future. And for the time tracker, initially it was really messy. It was one of the reasons why the end button had so many steps. So you can see that it was basically removing all the previous quests and putting in the quest completed today to calculate the hours played today. Thanks to the update 2.0 though, it just pulls the data from the quest archive database and calculates it based on the start date. And you can also see that it is displaying the time in a nice looking format. So I'm not going to go through the formula one by one, not because I'm gatekeeping it, but the video is getting way too long and I don't think anybody care how it works anyways. But for the 1% of you, let me just quickly just show you. So it looks something like this, and then it looks like this, just like that. What else is there? I guess this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So yeah, it's a lot. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, it's been way too long. Just if you're curious, there you go. Boom. Okay, so moving on. For the quest archive database, that is basically the main character for today. So the way it works is instead of having each quest be related to a specific level, everything now relates to one single database. So as you can see here, now every quest is related to this quest archive database, and then it calculates the total amount of XP gain in the quest XP and also the daily's XP. Then it calculates the current level by dividing the XP gain and XP required for each level. The excess XP is calculated using the modulus operator, which is basically getting the remainder after dividing the XP gain and required. Then the excess XP would be the XP for the active/current level. And then any level beforehand will be put to 100%. This is the evolution for the excess XP. You can pause the video and read it if you want to. I honestly can't be bothered. I'm just glad it works flawlessly now. So yeah, you can see I tried to do a lot of manual stuff like the formula copying, making a new quest. I don't know what's going on and it is extremely annoying. So anyways, luckily all of this is not needed anymore. I know I mentioned this feature a lot in this video. I gave this feature more attention than I did to my girlfriend, which is a little concerning, but I'm just so happy that it works. Like seriously, just look at how messy it used to look and how simple and clean it actually looks now. Look at that. Wow. Actually, this is not even here. Boom. Look at it. It's just like this. Super clean. Anyways, that is all the updates for now. I'm not sure if I should publish UltiGame so people can play it too, because it's frankly quite tedious to do so. But if I get enough requests, then I would release it. Full transparency though, I will definitely put a price tag on it because, well, as a human being, I need to eat, which also requires money. If you are interested in the first ever version of this game where I explain all my thought process while creating the game and why the game is the way it is, do click the video shown right here. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.